Hey guys, Vanity Ezel back again with the Ezel on the Vanity weekly reviews happening in a Discord because I'm too lazy to put these over into weekly updates because they're joke cards. Anyways, let's go into the stuff week because today we have more Grandpa Danger cards, along with I think we're getting the black stuff today as well. I'm not exactly sure. I stopped paying attention after they finished set 5. So let's go into the stuff shall we and see what we got. First today we have Congratulations Grade 3 Grandpa. So his first skill, he's Grade 3 10% 13k base. His first skill, I believe, is an exact replica of the main Grade 3 Grandpa, which is just keep virulent top cards. You reveal something with dangerous skill that isn't in your bind zone, then bind it. And then dangerous skill auto when bound from the deck by the ability of your Vanguard of Grandpa on the card name. Choose one of your rear guards and it gets auto rear guard added by this unit attacked if it's the first battle that turn, stand it, and it gets 5,000 power for the turn. So I believe the main Grade 3 has this skill. The main Grade 3 can stand itself, either that or it has another unit that has a dangerous skill that can stand itself. And now we have this thing that can also stand a rear guard, so you get a total of 5 attacks in turn. Honestly, not a really bad supporting Grade 3. My only question is why did they copy and paste this skill? But you know what, it is what it is. It's not a bad card at all, so you know it's a 3 over 4 of. Then we have UFO Grandpa, Grade 2 5k shield, 10k base, to donation of Coral and Dragon Empire. That's the only time I'm going to say this. Continues guard circle of your Vanguard's or Coral card, gets 5,000 shield, and then dangerous skill, auto when bound from deck by the ability of Vanguard card on the card name. 2 of your Vanguards and get 5,000 power and plus 1 drive for the turn. Okay, so the point of the Grandpa deck is basically to bind 1 card at a time. I mean, obviously, if they ever release an updated version of it in the future where it could bind 2 cards at a time, God forbid, that Grandpa deck would be absolutely busted, because having a card that has a non-stackable, or sorry, that does have a stackable plus drive skill, plus 5,000 power, on top of, you know, a thing that I mentioned earlier that can restand the Vanguard, yeah, that deck would be crazy if they end up having a way to bind 2 cards at once. So UFO Grandpa, not bad at all. I mean, it's a free 5k and a free drive once it's bound from deck. The only downside is because of how all these skills work, it's technically, I think you want to just run into it. Like, it's kind of like Peltra, where there are a lot of good cards you want to hit, but you also don't want to hit too many of them, because again, you can only bind stuff that's not in your bind. Then you're getting plus 4 to run max copy. So either way, not a bad card. I would say 3 of those, just so you have extra cards you can use. Then we have Grandson. Okay, the most generic title ever. Grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base. Act rear guard once per turn. Soul boss 1. Rest this unit. Choose one of your Coral units, and it gets 5k 1,000 power. And if you chose a unit with Grandpa on the card name, stand this unit. Okay, so it's just a free stand. And then dangerous skill, auto and bound from deck by the ability of Grandpa on the card name. Draw 2 cards. So we have one that gives free drive for 5k. We have one that just straight up gives you a free 2 cards, and then his other ability just allows you to give someone plus 5,000 power. Okay, sure, why not? Just good card in general. 4 for the Grandpa deck. I mean, it's a free draw too. What you can argue with that? Moving on, we have our promo cards for Thursday's reveals. First, we have Dancing Princess of Strong Gale, Eora, Grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base, continues rear guard during battle boost. If your Vanguards are Grade 3 greater, Emma, Azaiwa, you know, the thing, I think it was set 3? Set 4 or set 3 that it came out, and you know, like the weird crossover things, like there was also one with Dark States, and I think there was one with Lyric Monasterio that had like their own separate clan. Anyways, this unit gets 5,000 power, then auto rear guard when it boosted Grade 3 go to Emazawa, put it, this unit gets 2,000 power for that battle, and at the end of that battle, shove this unit to soul, choose one of your Vanguards to get 5,000 power for the turn, and if either your opponent's bind zone has 10 or more cards, or you persona this turn, that unit's drives cannot be reduced by your card effects. Okay, if you don't remember, Emazawa could stand, and that it focused on binding your opponent's cards, and that's loosely all I remember from it, and I'm pulling all that off of Eora's skill alone. So Eora is not honestly a bad Grade 1. It's very interesting that the cards outside of the Fated and Destined ones are getting these 15k boosters. I thought that was exclusive to them, but hey, you know, cool that she exists for them. It's a 3 over 4. Then we have Mage of Red Light Rampant, Grade 2 5k shield, 10k base, auto and placed on rear guard circle. Vanguards are Grade 3 greater Benny Yakumo, you may soul charge 1, and then auto rear guard when it attacks into a Grade 3 greater Vanguard, soul boss 1 VSPO. That was the name of the deck. This unit gets 1,000 power for the battle. Okay, cool. Not a mandatory soul charge, so if you're afraid you're going to soul charge a trigger, or you're going to deck out, you don't have to soul charge if you don't want to, but it's a nice free soul charge if you want it, and optimized with that, there's a 20k swing on an opponent's Grade 3 or greater Vanguard. Not a bad supporting Grade 2 at all. Very good for the Benny Yamoto deck, because I definitely remember what any of it does, so we're going to say 2 over 3 of. Wasn't the deck that you wanted to have a certain amount of cards and souls? It was like kind of like Barrow, but for, you know, Lyric Monasterio people that wanted to play Barrow. And we have Secret Garden on Akiris, and this was the... I actually don't remember who Runa Shinima is. Like, I knew these two more or less loosely, because I know this is a vampire, and this kind of gave me Amaterasu vibes. I don't remember who this one's supposed to go to, but Runa Shinoma is you may soul blast one and call this card to rear guard circle if you play when you play a normal order from hand, and then act rear guard circle, rest this unit, choose one of your Vanguards, get 5,000 power for the turn, and then continues rear guard during turn. If you have a Grade 3 get a Vanguard Runa Shinoma in the card name, this unit gets 5,000 power. If you play 2 or more orders that turn, it gets plus 10,000 instead of 5k. So I'm assuming Shinoma played double orders. I really don't remember, and I really don't care. But if it did play double orders, cool. Full of. If it didn't, well, good luck with that. that card, but I'm assuming it played double order, because otherwise this is a very random skill to tech on. Moving on, we have Virulence Ray Dragon, great to set 5k shield, 10k base, proof that they're going to support the promo decks, act drop zone. If your Vanguards are great 3 great of Regalia, buying this card, choose a Ezel on your rear guard circle. To end of your opponent's turn, it can't be chosen by opponent's card effects, and it gets 5,000 power, 5k shield. I thought it already couldn't be chosen. Oh, wait, no, it only couldn't be written. So basically making it a 20k, I think it had a base 15k shield, which means it's a 2020, which is all around pretty solid. If it had a base 10k shield, then it's 15, but still, very good card for defending, and they can use guard circle opponent's Vanguard. If your Vanguard's of Regalia, this unit gets 5,000 shield. Okay, cool. 10k shield, all around pretty nice to have, along with buffing up the defensive value of your other Ezel units, and, you know, it can be proc from drop zone, so you can use it to defend on one turn, then bind it the next, or, you know, just use a discard fodder. All around a very good supporting grade 2 for the deck. I really love this card, and it's a good 4-up. I think there was a grade 2 that came in the Stardust Blade deck that I didn't really like, so honestly, this would go in place of it. Moving on, we have our 2 normal orders, one for Oboru, one for, you know, Luar, which I find very interesting. Open O Forbidden Eye, or Open O Forbidden Evil Eye, very missed opportunities to say something beget by the Evil Eye. Anyways, if your Vanguard's a Demon Stealth, Dragon, Shinori, Oboru Crest, play this card by Energy Blasting 3. Choose a unit card from your drop zone with Stealth in the card name without Sentinel, call to rear guard circle. Okay, free rear guard, I guess works enough. And then auto with this card from your hand while paying for the cost of stride. Choose one of your Vanguard hearts, and until the end of that turn, the next pay cost for that card's abilities, reduce it by CB1. Oboru didn't cost CB for his stride skill, did it? Oh, wait, no, it says choose one of your Vanguards or hearts. Because I was about to say, it didn't cost for its cost, but yeah, that ability does work for premium if you're, like, using OG Oshinori, but also the fact that you can pick the Vanguard as well. So it works for Magen Tenbu, and it also works for Makuro. I was just like, I don't think Oboru would cost CB, and it doesn't, but my point still stands. Then we have a Journey to Reach the Dragon, which I find very fun to use. Ritual 5, so we finally have something that isn't, we have Remnants of Ritual 5, which was only allowed for Akuma, which is a very fun card to play. So if you have 5 more great ones in drop zone and you have a Dragheart Luard Crest, play it by Energy Blasting 3. You, the player, get all your units placed from deck this turn, get 5,000 power for the turn. Cool. Let's give that to a deck that can casually superior call a board. I'm gonna say this right now. This card is not as nearly as busted as it is in premium. Do you know how I know that? Because my premium Luar deck which I built on the sole basis of a bit, and then it got nerfed because of the domain choice restriction, is so good at making an entire board from quite literally nothing. So that's going to be fun playing around with. Oh, wait, I can't, because you can't use the energy generator in premium. But okay, cool, still fair enough. Which I guess by default means you can use this in premium for this skill, but you can't use it for its other skill. And then, you know, the standard auto and discard it for the stride cost. You can choose a Vanguard or Heart, which is good. I mean, you know, it's stride fodder for the deck, but I mean, it's kind of counterintuitive when Luard is supposed to free stride the entire time, and so is the Crest. But I mean, hey, you know, if you have to use this on this turns you can't stride, you can at least use that. Then we have Mr. Strongest, grade 3 to net personal 13k base. This weird shadow thing continuously can't be ridden. Auto, I said 18k, I hope. Auto rear guard when your card with dangerous skill and ability is bound from your deck by the ability of Vanguard with guard upon the card name. Your opponent's Vanguards are grade 3 regard, this unit's 5,000 shield or 5,000 power. And then dangerous skill when this card is bound from the deck by the ability of Vanguard with grant upon the card name. Choose one of your opponent's Vanguards, make it lose 5,000 power. If your opponent has 4 less damage, deal 1 damage to them. Okay. I feel like this is probably the reason why they said that you can only bind cards that aren't already in your bind zone, because even if it's still restricted to 4 less damage, dealing them a bop damage and essentially being like Freischutz maximum with Uranante's free damage bop effect, pretty good. 4 of, because honestly, you might just want to hit this as much as possible. Also, the fact this is an 18k base, so you know it's a beat stick worst case scenario. Then we have just Principle, cool, grade 2 intercept 5k shield, 10k base. Auto and placed on rear guard circle, CB1, choose one of your opponent's rear guards with equal or greater power than this unit's original power, retire it. That is so easy to kill. And then dangerous skill, auto and bound from the deck by the ability of Vanguard grant upon the card name, retire all of your opponent's from rear guards. Okay, that is just a free Varga. And then choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets auto Vanguard once per turn. During the battle, this unit attack, when your opponent's Guardian is first put, choose one of your opponent's Guardians from one of them, retire it until end of turn. Okay, important thing to note about Guardians, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, when you guard, you have the choice to like actually put them on one at a time to say like, this is what I'm guarding with first, and then I do this XYZ, which would like trigger some auto abilities. Like say for example, you had 4 cards in hand exactly, and there was a card in your hand that said if you have 3 more cards in your hand, it gets the extra 5k shield on place, not for the entire battle. So you play that card first before you go down to 3 or less cards, and then you can play others, and that would be considered your first guard, or you can just throw on a bunch of cards at once. Either way, principle would allow you to kill either the first one put, or if they're putting it in like one at a time, then it's just the first one that was put in that order. So principle, very solid good card for like killing rear guards and just killing guards in general. So it's a good 3/4. Then we have Gebe. Grade 2, intercept, 5k shield, 10k base. Auto act rear guard once per turn if your vanguard's either a grandpa or is a Korokoro. Put one of your other rear guards to soul and increase this unit's power by the original power of that card put into soul for the rest of the cost, or for the cost. Cool. Just basically, if you send a grade 3 to soul and it has 13k base, actually better yet, let's use a better example. You send this thing to soul, it's getting 18k, so there's that. And then dangerous skill, auto inbound from deck. If your vanguard's a grandpa, all your farmer units get 5,000 power for the turn. Okay, half persona, right? That's great. And if your opponent's vanguard's also a grade 3 or greater, they get another 10,000. So you get a full persona ride and a half persona ride just for your opponent being a grade 3. From what I'm gathering from the Grandpa deck, it is just straight up hit like a truck and ask questions later. 4 of. And on to our final reveals for the day. First up, we have some new art revealing stuff that's going to be in DC set 6. So we have confirmation that we are finally getting Dragonic Overlord, or not Dragonic Overlord, Dragonic Vermilion, the Blood. We're also getting Glory Maelstrom in the set, and god damn, the Blood looks awesome. I love the sword that he has here, and I really love Glory Maelstrom's stance. These are really badass, so all around looking forward to these two. They're also by apparently my favorite artist, so that's going to be fun to look at. Following that, we have the new mask cards, so the cards that I'm pretty sure all of us were confident were going to get masked during the time masks were getting popular, and then for some reason they just never got masked, which didn't make sense considering, I don't know, Solaran was literally used by pretty much everyone once it came out in the anime, and then Gandiva was also kind of used a little bit here and there, but cool, we have confirmed mask versions of both of them, and then we have the full names of, Graham Grace, Favrenil, Gandiva Maskez, and Soul Rider Mask. So first up we have Sword Saint Knight, Divine Dragon, Graham Grace C, Purgatory Dragon, Great Deity, Favrenil, Rheingold, Scarlet Flame, Ash Dragon, Gandiva Mask, because of course it's an Ash Dragon, and then Great Sage of the Dark Path, Soul Rider Mask. Okay, cool. We have a lot to look forward to in set 6, because we already have the confirmed 2 Strides, Transos and Chronos Command. We have the new Roroa, so that's 3. We have these 2, so that's 5. We have these 2, so that's 7. And then we have these 2 over here, so that's 9. So 9 at least really cool looking grade 3s that we all have to be interested in, so that's pretty nice. Moving on to our, reveals for the Korokoro stuff. It was Deka-kun, not Black, that we were getting reveals for. My bad from earlier. So Dekasuki Denka-kun. Not even gonna try to figure out what that means. Alder wrote a for second draw card. Okay, standard starter, enough about it. Big struggle in the Skyscraper District. Deka-kun, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base, continues Vanguard. When you ride a Korokoro card, Deka-kun in its card name from your ride deck, you may soul blast 1 Korokoro card instead of choosing a card from your hand and discard it. Okay. Simple Soul Blast 1, replace the ride deck discard for itself. Normally I don't like these skills, but you know what, because they haven't done it in a while, I'll give them the free pass, and it's for Korokoro, so I don't really care. So one of them in the ride deck of Big Skyscraper. Then we have Big Summer Camp Deka-kun, grade turn stuff 5k shield, 10k base. Honestly, I don't know why. After looking at this, looking at the series of cards, I am kind of interested in the Deka-kun thing. Anyways, active Vanguard once per turn, reveal a grade 3 card with Deka-kun either in its card name from your ride deck or is a Korokoro card. Reveal the top card of your deck, and if it's a Korokoro normal unit, put it to your hand. If it's not, return to its original position. Cool, this is a way to get a free PG, Persona, or pretty much any of your pieces that isn't a trigger back to your hand, and if you don't get something to your hand, that means it's a trigger and you get to keep it on top anyways. On Deka-kun is a very solid supporting grade 2 as like a Vanguard ride deck. I mean, you get to see what the top card is before anything happens, and it says this is for Keter. You can technically speaking just, actually this is not a Keter card, but actually it is kind of a Keter card. Yeah, it is. So you can just, use it to deck stack, and then call something that's going to call the top card of your deck if it is something you want on board, even though unless it's a normal unit, it's going to stay on top anyways. But alright, Deka-kun, very nice grade 2 skill, one of in the ride deck. Then we have history's biggest protagonist, Deka-kun Upper Body, which brings up a thing called the Overgrown state, which we'll get to in a minute. Grade 3 to 10% 13k base, contains Vanguard Circle. If it's in the Overgrown state, it gets 5k in a drive, active on both players' turn, so it's an 18k triple drive during both players' turn, which is nice. Auto Vanguard wins the attacks into a Vanguard. If your Persona of this turn also gets a crit for that battle, so 28k double critical triple drive, which is pretty good pressure. And then Act Vanguard once per turn, Energy Blast 2, Search Director 1, history's biggest protagonist, protagonist Dekakun lower body from your deck or drop zone, call it to back or rear guard circle and say call him as and if you search your deck, you shuffle it. Okay, and that's all around pretty good because the overgrown state, I'm just going to skip the lower body real quickly. The overgrown state involves having an upper body card and a lower body card in the exact same column as each other, and then those units cannot be chosen by card effects, and they are both, if they're both on rear guard circle and one would move to guard circle intercept, both to move to guard circle intercept, aka intercepting with like one of them would make it a 10k shield in total because both units move there. It's kind of like overdress, except, you know, Trickstar being underneath the card would actually go to guard circle instead of just existing underneath Irina still. But all around, pretty cool that this thing technically can trigger the overgrown state on its own because it can superior call the lower body of its respective half, so therefore you can trigger it. It only costs 2 energy to do it, so you can literally do it every turn. Honestly, very good grade 3. They thought this one through. I like this card a lot, honestly, so 4 of. Then we have history's biggest protagonist Dekakun lower body, overgrown continues back or rear guard circle. Oh, it's a grade 1 boost, AK base, by the way. If your history's back or rear guard circle, if your history's biggest protagonist Dekakun upper body is in the same column as it, then this unit will become the overgrown state, cannot be chosen by your opponent's card effects. Then if both are on rear guard circle and they move to guard circle, the standard intercept thing that I was telling you about. Following that, act back or rear guard center. If this unit's in the overgrown state, I'm gonna get these things so confused so quickly, and you did not ride this turn, counterblast 1, start your deck for up to 1 copy, or drop zone for up to 1 copy of the upper body, ride it as stand. If you start your deck, you shuffle it, and if you ride by this effect and you did not persona ride this turn, activate persona ride. All around, these two have amazing synergy with each other, and they are really well designed. This can superior call the lower body, so you will always be in the, the overgrown state, and this card right here can superior ride the top body and get you a persona ride. All around, both of them are pretty good, and the fact that they can call from both deck and drop zone means that even if you do lose the other copies, you can just do it from the drop zone. So all around, very good grade 1. 4 of them. Actually, kind of interested in this deck. And then the overgrown state explanation. Then we have big launch Dekakun robot upper body, grade 2 and 5k shield, 10k base. Auto when this is placed on front or rear guard circle. Vanguard has either Dekakun or Zakoro Koro. Energy boss 2, stretch after 1, big launch Dekakun lower body, call to back or rear guard circle. So commas, if you search deck, you shuffle it. And then auto rear guard once per turn when your grade 3 grade of Vanguard Dekakun and the card name attacks. If this unit was not stand by the ability of your cards this turn, CB1 is stand all of your rear guards name, call them as it in the overgrown state. So cool. Essentially, you get a 4th attack just per 1 CB. Pretty solid, especially because it doesn't require the opponent to be at grade 3 either, so you're getting this guy who is more likely than not going to have triple drive, who can then also allow you just to stand this column for free, which is nice, or 1 CB, which is nice. And not to mention that the on place, he does actually get you the lower body, and I do like how to get to like the lower body cards, so far the upper bodies only have to pay 2 energy, so you'll be able to use it consistently every turn, since you're getting a free 3 energy every turn. All around, not a bad grade 2, but if they do end up overloading it with a lot of upper body and lower body cards, I can see possible problems happening, especially because this one is restricted to calling from deck and not just deck or drop zone. So there's that, but it's still a welcome 3 of, if not a 4 of in the deck, just because of what it does. And we have our last card of the day, and that's Big Launch Dekakun Robo Lower Body, Great on Boost, 5k Shield, 8k Base, the overgrown ability that the, lower body of the first one had, aka it's literally the exact same stuff, and then Auto Rear Guard, when this unit in the overgrown state boost, if your opponent's Vanguards are grade 3 or greater, it gets +9 power for that battle. Okay, all around, pretty solid, it's an 18k base, which makes this unit incredibly useful for boosting, especially, with your restanding booster and column over here. So honestly, a very good support card to have and a welcomed 4 in the deck. Following that, we have a new Regalias piece in Crockett, or as I read it the first time I read it, Cracky, or Crikey, not Cracky. So it's a continuous. It's regarded as Gretas Galate. If it loses its own name, it's also regarded during deck destruction, or it loses its own name in deck destruction. You know what I mean? And then the Regalias piece is literally the exact same as Gretas Galate. It can get you Persona Ride, basically. So there's that. And then of course we have Mysterious Joker, which is regarded as Fortiball Surrogate. And if you don't know what that one does, it's the search your deck or drop zone for 2 grade 3 or higher cards, add 1 to the hand, or no, call all the grade 3s and add the grade 4s to hand, then you shuffle. All around, pretty interesting that we got these cards to support, not against them, but it's nice that the Koro is pretty much getting, I'm pretty sure these are supposed to be Koro cards, getting their own, orders out of it, which is nice. And then that's it for today's reviews. I hope all of you enjoyed. Next week, we are getting Ryron already, which is interesting, so I'll see you all then. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join us for Twitch, and don't forget to set up your Vanguards.